All right. Fastest 15 minutes on social media. Fastest 15 minutes on the internet. My name is Judson Powell. All right. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Please hit the subscribe button so I can because I don't have enough subscribers right now, so I can't go live. And a lot of times I'd like to go live. I just don't really like Instagram and all of those, so I kind of like YouTube better. Anyway, I'm just old, that's all. Anyway, so here's the deal. So, so I started digging around, because a lot of this stuff is, I guess, it's out there. You just got to look for it. And certain people ain't looking for it, and certain people ain't really trying to show it to you. But there's a guy. His name is Dr. Charles Lieber. Okay, Charles Lieber, Dr. Charles Lieber. And he used to be a professor at Harvard University. All right. So now it turns out that Dr. Lieber was paid $15 million by the United States government and several other organizations. I'm sorry, $150 million. All right. And I have to go back and check that, but I think it was $150 million. But anyway, it's a lot of money. All right. And then he was also paid by China at the clip of $58,000, pretty much $58,000 or so much a month, right? And so basically he was running this program, and he had students from China underneath his tutelage. And so he had 2 students. And anyway, he was making a boatload of money. All right. So now, when you research all of this stuff, okay, dude got a lot of money. I think it was like, and I'm pretty sure it was like $150 million grant over so much time. Well, that's a lot of money for anybody. All right. So now, when I was in law school, we always had there's a thing that goes around that says what? If you want to know who committed the crime, follow the rich white man with the money, right? And I'm not saying that to be, well, I guess maybe I am being racist. Everybody always talk about I'm racist or whatever. I'm not really racist. I don't really care, but I'm just telling you, look, this is what happened. This is what they did. All right. So anyway, follow him because he's got all the money, or he was getting paid. So he was getting paid by the Chinese, and he was getting paid by the United States of America. All right, the Department of Justice arrested him, the FBI. They sent the FBI to arrest him. Why? Because they said that he did not disclose the information that he was working for the Chinese government, right? But I don't know how you don't how that's not a known factor when you got Chinese people working for you, and basically you're running a program where you get Chinese scholars in your program. Okay, so that's the first thing that seems a little bit fishy. So now, as we know, and by the way, his 2 students that were also arrested with him were Chinese nationals from where? From Wuhan, the epicenter of this virus breakout. Okay, so now the story we got was that the coronavirus came from bats, from them eating bats. Pretty now non-traditional to us, but to them they eat bats. All right, they eat stuff that we don't eat. So and it just so happened that Lieber's students were in Wuhan when all of this stuff broke out. Okay, now they arrested him. In, depending on, I don't know, because the dates and everything on the stuff was messed up, but either December or January was when they arrested him. Now, if you remember, there was a photograph of USA Today newspaper floating around the internet with Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant had been killed, had died. Not, because I can't prove either way. But on that same issue where Kobe Bryant had just been killed, there was a front page article about warning people about the coronavirus and the fact that there was a vaccine that was in the works for the coronavirus. All right. A little bit after that, that's when they asked Donald Trump about the coronavirus. And if you remember, Trump's response was it was one person coming from China and we got it under control. All right, so since y'all call me and everybody that's, all us woke people, we all conspiracy theorists anyway. So I'm just putting this out there. Okay, so it's just in fact I posted about that on Facebook today when I was talking to them about so everything is a conspiracy theory until you prove it. But even nowadays, even when you give people facts, okay, they still want to call it a theory. Well, when you got facts, it's not a theory, it's a fact. It's not a theory. We're not trying to decide whether or not it might have happened or it could have happened. We know that it happened because we got the evidence. Or what y'all say, we can put the receipts out there. I got receipts, right? So just think about it. All right. So you got this dude. He done made like millions of dollars from both governments. All right. When you get $150 million grant, all right. I mean, first of all, he's set up for life. He ain't never got to, pick up nothing in a lab ever again. And don't forget, he's like basically the head of the biology and chemistry and all of that at Harvard. All right, so this is a smart dude. This ain't no dude, with a chemistry set in the basement. All right, well, probably when he was 7, he probably had a chemistry set in the basement. But right now, he ain't got no chemistry set in the basement. This dude is high powered. All right. And he works on stuff like infectious diseases and stuff like that. So now here is a conspiracy theory. This is something that I can't prove. All right. What I can't prove, or what I believe to be true, is the fact that when they engineered this virus, and I believe this virus was engineered by them. All right. And then I believe that it was taken to Wuhan and either injected into the food or somehow given to people or whatever. Now, because we know that that's where it all started, and we know that all these people actually already they already basically knew what was going on. All right, and then you have to realize, then the next thing you know, it ends up. Think about the epicenters of where all this stuff ends up. It ends up in Italy, and they say the epicenter is northern Italy somewhere. And so that's the part that doesn't make sense to me. We knew about the cruise ship off the coast of Washington State. We knew about that. Okay, so we knew that we knew where those cases came from. California, we know that California and New York have a high rate. Why? Because of the fact that most travel goes in, or most international flights or whatever, they come to New York or to LA. All right, because most smaller cities or whatever don't have like direct flights to an international destination. Okay, so then the next thing we got, okay, so then we got in Iran. Okay, Iran says undoubtedly the United States did this to us, but then you got to realize our relationship with Iran, so they would undoubtedly blame us. Okay, so, and now we have a large breakout in Detroit, where one of the largest Iranian communities in the United States is Dearborn, Michigan. All right, so let's add up all the receipts and everything, right? Okay, then we had a little mini flare up in New Orleans, right? Right after what? Mardi Gras, because people went there for Mardi Gras, which is a festival that attracts people from where? All over the world. So possible that that a lot of the stuff happened there. Okay, so now, so we got all of these different little things, And every place where there's like a major outbreak or somebody is sick, and then the other thing is, and then the other major point of infection is what? Is healthcare workers. Because, and especially the first ones, because a lot of the first people, they died. And the reason why they died, because they didn't know what they were dealing with. They had no clue. They were just, it's like, somebody walks in your office and they're like, da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, now, second thing is, now that we have all those different places where there were major outbreaks. So I think that the governor of New York, I think he's doing the right thing. I think that they're doing the right thing in LA. I think that, in California, I think they're doing the right thing. But does the whole entire country need to be on lockdown? Probably not. Because the real facts is that there are less than 1,300 deaths. Okay? No matter, and the number of cases cannot really be a solid number. You know why? Because people test positive for coronavirus that don't have the virus. Or in other words, they don't have the symptoms of the virus that are going to kill you. So, which follows up once again with what Dr. Oz said. Dr. Oz was like, look, it's endemic, meaning it's been here and it will always be here. And people will always have it. So there will always be people that will carry this virus, always. So a lot of these people that we see testing positive and stuff like that, I keep messing with Young Thug. It's like, boy, ain't nothing wrong with you. Take an aspirin and shut up and go sit down somewhere. But you see what I'm saying? Idris, Tom Hanks, those all the Utah Jazz players have been cleared. Basically all the basketball players, all that, they're just carriers. They don't have it. And if they're not, and if they're not showing symptoms, it doesn't appear that they can transfer the virus to anybody, which is a good thing. I mean, that's a good thing. But let's go back. So the originator, this Dr. Lieber, okay, could it be because you cannot explain the Italian thing? The only thing that cannot be explained is the Italians. And so, which is why it leads me to believe that it was man-made. See, because everybody else, okay, you can explain everybody else, because it appears, and it was man-made, and that people were infected on purpose. All right, can't prove it, but if I'm a person that studies and creates infectious diseases in laboratories and stuff like that, and I have 2 students from Wuhan who go back to Wuhan, and there's an outbreak, guess what? they might have had something to do with it. And swoops and all, swoops or whatever that verifies all that stuff. I got one of my frat brothers be using it all the time, so I ran it through there, and they say it's not true. So I know it's probably true because look, they like they probably like me. They like, well, we can't prove it, but just say this: it's a high probability that this strain of the virus was created in a laboratory. And that is probably why, now, here's the thing. Once again, the properties of the virus are the same as every other coronavirus, but they are a little bit different. All right? And the only difference is, but they can still kill it the same way they kill the other ones. Heat. All right, heat kills the virus. Heat, over 133 degrees Fahrenheit or 55 degrees Celsius will kill the virus. But the other part is that they try to make it more contagious. So they tried to make it so that it could be passed on human to human a lot easier. And that's my take on what happened. So Dr. Lieber and his boys in the lab, they tried to engineer, and here's my final thought. I think when they engineered it so that Caucasians would be more susceptible, and that's why they're trying to get black people basically to take it more serious. And that's it, because I believe they might have done it on purpose, or they might have just made a mistake, because people make mistakes. All right, even when you're trying to do a diabolical scheme to rule the world. Anyway, fastest 15 minutes is up. Hit like, hit subscribe. Judson Powell, I love you.